Welcome to another episode of Bleav in Falcons. As always, I'm your host, Ovie and Michael, co-host Michael Turner. And we're celebrating today because once again, we got another Falcons victory against the Panthers. It is so good, Mike, to realize that winning can be something we do continuously, not an every now and then thing, but we can win on a consistent basis because 4-2 looks great. It looks real good compared to Falcons teams in years past. And I won't say we dominated, but in the last quarter, we kind of dominated the way that we should have the whole game. At first, it was a little shaky. And I was wondering, why we're struggling against a team that's got injuries, that doesn't have the talent we have, that's really on their last leg. And we were giving them life. But at the end of the day, a win is a win is a win. And at the end of the game, it looked like a really solid Falcons win. But 4-2 looks great, and I'm feeling great.
No, we're on the road. We're on the road. It's always tough to win on the road. And we coming off an emotional win from last Thursday or whatever, or Thursday before. And it's hard to keep that focus, man. Keep that focus, keep that energy. And that was one of the things I was asking about. Like, how do we keep that momentum? How can we keep it going as a young team trying to gel? We got to learn how to win and learn how to put wins together. So I think this is our first little winning streak right here. So hopefully we can keep it going.
It got to, man. Before we get too much into it, we got to show our sponsors some love. Bet Online, man. How'd your you had some picks last week? Did you do good? You win some money? What happened with Bet Online?
Bet Online, yeah, I got the win. I said it was 6-point spread, and we clearly blew that out the water. But I had the under. I thought it was gonna be a little low scoring game, but it was a lot of points scored last night. I don't know what was going on, but we got that, and I'm happy that we got the win on top of everything else.
Yeah, I didn't like the part where they were scoring. I like the fact that we were scoring a lot on the ball on the ground. But Andy Dalton, he's better than the young kid. Was it Bryce? What's his name?
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young. Yeah. I feel bad for Bryce Young, and I was talking about the Panthers before we even got to play them. To give up what they gave up to get that young man and to not have him pan out. And I always want our people to succeed and to do good and our young guys to just to do well. No one likes someone getting benched or embarrassed like that, but it's an embarrassment to the organization, to him, to the GM, to choose a guy, and then you have all that money, all that draft capital in him. He's on the bench, and Andy Dalton, he's been around the block a little bit. He showed a great game, his first game. He had 300+ yards and was getting multiple touchdowns. I was worried that Panthers now are going to be a contender. Nope. They're not. But Andy still made this game close, and Chuba Hubbard was giving our defense fits. He was getting 3, 4, 5 yards in the first quarter, second quarter, and we were not putting them away. So it was not fun as a Falcons fan watching a game where you felt like, you're supposed to beat the team you're supposed to beat. That's one thing that we did pretty well when Matt, you, me, we was all in our heyday in 2008, 9, 10, 11. When there was a team that was bad, we didn't overlook them as it's going to be an easy game. Now, Coach Malarkey, who, friend of the show, was on last week, and Coach Smith, they would not let us just, walk through practice, have a lazy practice, have that mindset, be whatever. We had a Carolina Panthers, like a wounded duck type team that we're supposed to squash. We put our foot on their neck. We ran the ball down their throat, and we were beating them by 2-3 touchdowns. Now, the Falcons got there, but early on, it was a slow start.
Yeah, I mean it's a learning process. It's a learning process. We got to beat the teams that we're supposed to beat and dominate the teams we're supposed to beat. So I guess these guys are not used to that. I'm not. This is a very young team just trying to gel and trying to learn each other. So it's going to be a process of learning how to dominate when you're supposed to dominate, because you don't just do that overnight.
You don't.
It's a learning thing. Like go ahead and put a team away. You know what I'm saying? Like dominate, run the ball down their throat. Control the clock on defense. Don't give them no yards. Fill those run gaps. You know what I'm saying? So we knew they was going to run the football. Yeah, that's their best option. Run the football.
That's the only option. Again, Red Rifle. He's good, but their run game has been one of their bright spots, and Chuba Hubbard has been, one of the reasons that they've been able to even stay close in some of these games. So we weren't surprised when they did that. I was surprised that it actually worked against us. We knew that was one of the only weapons they had. It still was working.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm guess Raheem would cuss him out.
Oh yeah.
Him out.
Oh yeah, no, and this is one of these games where, because we know Raheem, and even Coach Malarkey talked about how much respect he has for Raheem. This is going to be a celebration because it's a win. But in that film room, there is a lot of mistakes that they made yesterday that they're going to go over, and they're going to go over with fine-tooth comb. And hopefully, we talked about this early on in the season, they're going to hold people accountable. They're going to call people out. And you don't have to do it in front of the fans and the media and stuff. But if you are not doing what Matt was notorious for doing, which is singling people out, telling them, like, demanding like their best at all times. And when you make a mistake, he doesn't care if you're Tony Gonzalez or Roddy White or Michael Turner or Ovie and Michael. He told me several times, hey, this is your spot. That's your lane. You got to go 10 yards and back. You have this protection. You have that protection. You need to be able to, all of the details of the game this early in the season. If you can really hone those down, or really get those ingrained in you, and have perfect plays, which is what we always try to go through, you're really going to be good, because this team showed that they can be good. They are in the process. It's like, the caterpillar turning to a beautiful butterfly. They're in the process of metamorphosizing into a team that can be what we all thought they can be. We were talking about, hey, win the division, get into the playoffs, win a playoff game minimum, and anything's possible. But we're 3-0 in the division. Let's just stop right there. Let's like, again, they didn't have the dominant game we wanted, but 3-0 in the division is huge. We had so many people that jumped all the way off the bandwagon after that first game of Kirkos, after that first Steelers game where we lost to a backup Justin Fields. Russell Wilson wasn't even starting. We lost to a backup, and people were jumping off the bandwagon, and me and you were a little shaky. We were like, Kirko got to figure it out. Falcons got to figure it out. All this talent. It's not good if you're losing to the Steelers, and you got you got the Chiefs, you got the Eagles. We've turned it around. And what matters most, our division, we have gotten wins. Not all pretty wins, but we've gotten wins after wins after wins, and we're 3-0 the division. Only 4 teams, so we're at the top, baby. And this feels great.
We're at the top. We're at the top. We're at the top.
Great, man.
But like this as a coaching standpoint, this is one of those games that were like you nitpick.
Yeah.
Even though we won convincingly, you nitpick. Just get those, you know what I'm saying? Don't let the players get overconfident. Don't get too comfortable. Just go over everything like we're 4-2, but we can be much better.
Yeah.
And this is for down the road. It's not for right now. It's down the road. He can see a vision down the road. Like, we can be a real dominant team if we all put it together. Just get better. Everybody just got to get better. Week in and week out.
No, absolutely. And it was crazy how the last game, 500 plus yards with Kirk Cousins, and now we're talking about Chuba Hubbard. Our running backs, Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson, like, we've been seeing them grow every single game. We've been seeing Tyler Algier came knock on the door and say, hey, don't forget about me. Don't forget about that bowling ball. Don't forget about that dog that I got. And every game, he's reminded us that y'all can love Bijan as much as you want, but I'm not going nowhere. And those two guys played so well off each other, almost had 200-yard backs in a game, which is, man, that's what you want.
Right.
But showing that we can do both, that we can have the 4 wide receivers, and go 500 yards, and Kirk can go crazy. And we can have the 200-yard rushing game where both backs almost going for 100 yards. The fact that we can do both is just a testament to not only Zach Robinson and his development, his growth as an OC. Because, again, coming from the Rams and being the first time in anything, it's not going to be you're at your best day one. That doesn't happen anywhere. You're not going to be the best head coach. You're not going to be the best running back, fullback. Your first game doing anything. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4. He's now getting comfortable. He's now getting in the rhythm. He now knows what his players can do, and they now have a certain level of trust in him. So, hey, Zach Robinson, hats off to him. I'm going to get one of these quarterbacks coaches in here on this show and talk about it, because I want to hear about what's happening in the locker room on the coaching level. Because Raheem coming back here, and Raheem has been such a character in the NFL, such a guy that people always talk about how much they respect. Even again, coaches like Coach Malarkey talk about they respect Raheem. Everyone knows that he's got that players coach type of mentality. And he's with the guys, but he also has to command a lot of respect. The coaching staff that he's chosen, the dynamics that works within them, the level of trust that they have, it's kind of a little bit above my pay grade on how those dynamics work, because we see what they let us see, but
Right.
I don't know if you ever coach high school football.
No, never.
Yeah. Jerry had me talk to his team one time because he was a coach for a little bit, and coaching it's a lot of trust with your players. It's a lot of trust with your fellow coaches. It's a lot of trust with the head coach and the coordinators, because it can get to a finger pointing game real fast. Right. But Zach Robinson has figured out how exactly to understand the flow of the game and the way that his players want the game called. Because Kirk Cousins did a press conference. He talked about, hey, we just execute the game Zach calls. He's like, right. We have certain ability to move in there with the audibles and the kills and all that stuff. But he's like, we execute the game. The game last week was to go crazy in the air. The game this days to go crazy on the ground, and we're going to do that. And I'm just so happy that it seems like the fam's coming together, because we're going to need this for some of these tougher games that we have. I think Seattle Seahawks is the next game, but we're not going to have the patty cake, Panthers to figure stuff out. So, you mentioned, getting into the film room and figuring out like how we can turn this good game into a great game next time is imperative.
Right. And like you said earlier, it's one of those games where you just got to get a feel for, it was obviously we executed the game plan perfectly, 38 points, whatever. We did it the right way. Remember, I asked like a couple weeks ago, like, are we a running team? Or are we a passing team? I guess we're both. We can do either or. We could throw for 500 one week, rush for 200 the next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Raheem gave the game ball to the offensive line.
Did he?
That was their game yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got two guys that's close to 100. One was over 100, whatever. But we finally had a positive run game. Look good running football. And that's the first, I think that's the first game this year that we actually look good running football. And hopefully we can keep it going, build on that, get the offensive line some confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got the game ball. Give them some confidence, give them a bone, and hopefully encourage them to do it again next week. So we'll see. We'll see. You got Seattle next week, another tough defense. We at home, and hopefully we come out on top again.
Yeah, man. The defense, man, it's exciting to talk about another tough week. We had our defense do what we've done all year. We've had a bend but not break type of defense, because we ain't shut nobody out. Ain't no 0-point games. We have not been able to dominate. And the biggest thing we talked about repeatedly is the lack of pressure on the quarterback. But our defense as a whole is playing good enough to where it seems that they always turn it on at the right time. And we'd like them to turn it on the whole game, but usually, third, fourth quarter, they're bending less, they're not breaking, and they come up with some big plays. This time, it wasn't even the last minute or two of the game. They had 11 minutes left, and the AJ Terrell said, nope, we ain't doing this, because Andy Dalton was coming. It was a point where it was an 8-point game, and they could score and get a 2-point conversion, it'd be tied, and we just couldn't put these guys away. But then AJ Terrell said, nah, I know it's been since 2021 since I've had an interception. And I didn't know it's been that long since AJ Terrell's had an interception.
I didn't know that either.
But people are talking about, what happened to the ball hawk AJ Terrell? We paid this guy, and he's a great corner, but he's not getting interceptions. He got him one. He got him one in a big game, for us, and he got him one where it kind of set the tone for the fourth quarter. And after that, we shut him down. That run game was still going, and then for Clark Phillips to again say, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still a guy who's not lost in all the superstars and the Mike Q's and the AJs and Jesse Bates, and Justin Simmons, all these big names. Clark Phillips was like, hey, you don't know my name like that, but I'm still getting INTs. So for him to end the game like that and just kind of show our defense that we can be game changers, that we can make big plays, that we can have some of these really game changing play situations that are necessary to win games. It was great for our just morale, just like the offensive line, show that they can do this. Defense, show that they can do this, but not wait till the end of the game. Like, take over. Like, somebody's got to take over. Somebody's got to step up. So the last, fourth quarter, we were able to relax. Falcon fans were able to relax because we saw, all right, this is not coming down to a one-score game. Because as we all know, it's been one-score game after one-score game after one-score game. And finally, on a team that we should have done this earlier, in the fourth quarter, we put some distance between us and the Panthers because we're not the same. They're not going to the playoffs. They don't have dark horse Super Bowl, aspirations, but we kind of do. We plan to go to the playoffs. We feel like, we can become hot like the Chiefs have become one year, like the Seahawks back when Russell Wilson was there, became 1 year to where they weren't, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. They were, 4-2-ish like us. And then middle season, something magical happened to where everything came together, and now they're on fire. Kind of like Eli when he won the Super Bowl. And yes, I'm talking about Super Bowl because, hey, I feel like if you don't believe it, you cannot achieve it. And yes, I know it is way too early, and Mike's gonna have to call me down, but I feel like, hey, it's something that you can't say we're not capable of it. You can't say there's absolutely no way. And it's like it's a 1% chance. Like we have a all-star crew. We knew that when we brought in all these big names. We knew that when we brought in Kirk Cousins. We didn't bring in Kirk Cousins to just win the division. Right. Just to make the playoffs. I mean, Kirk Cousins said it himself when he came here. It's like, I came for a Super Bowl. So I don't feel too bad talking about the Super Bowl win, but the defense is going to be a key factor. I mean, we already saw what the offense can do: 500 one game, 200 in the air, 200 on the ground the next game. The defense, they've been having big plays and they're saving our butts with the Jesse Bates interceptions and, AJ and Clark interceptions. Now we need Judon to come on. We need Judon to come on. Like we need all of our big defensive, sack leaders, the Onyematas and the AKs and, Lorenzo and everybody who we brought in to do this job, to do this dang job. So it's different because I've never rushed the pass. You've never rushed the pass. I feel like it's easy. You just run up and do a couple of moves, and, some karate, and you get there and do it. But it's obviously it's harder than that because our boys are struggling a little bit to get to the QB. But whatever they need to do, we need to get it done because the quarterbacks we're going to be facing, moving on, they're more mobile. They're going to be having too much time. They're intelligent. They can pick us apart. Again, we have great DBs and good linebackers. I hope my man Troy Anderson gets healthy and comes on back. But he had an amazing game, and then he walked off in the sunset, dealing with injury. But as a defense, we did our thing, shutting down a bad team and keeping them from doing any better.
That's week in and week out, Ovie. It's the NFL, man. It's the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So like we're gonna have some highs, we're gonna have some lows. But like hopefully we can. And it wasn't low yesterday. It was just like
it wasn't low, but it was something to where I would have liked to see them put them away. Like I talked about it a little bit with some friends of mine, talking about the game. I was like, oh, this is one of these games where they don't got a couple of injuries. Like they have a lot of injuries. They're dang near playing with their second team. So this was the game where we felt like, you should come in here and just put your foot on their neck and apply pressure. Didn't happen, but we still won.
We're 4-2 and not hitting on all cylinders. Think of it like that.
How about that? Yes. Yes. So that's a great way to think about it.
You're right. Just a great way to think of it. Just wait till we get the rolling for real. Like, this is our first time winning back-to-back games this year. So like,
is it really?
Yeah. We're 4-2. Like yeah.
It's the first time winning back-to-back games. It's crazy because usually it's you win and you lose and you win and you lose. It's the yo-yo back and forth. Right. And now it's putting a string of these together. Like let's put a couple together. Let's make this something that is part of the Falcons culture. Like we win, baby. We go all day. We go all day. We win, baby. That's what we do.
Yeah, we on top of the division. We on top of the division. Let's take command, take the lead, control it. Don't let nobody creep in. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks look good yesterday, but we already beat them. We 3-0. We beat everybody in the division already. So we're looking good. We're sitting pretty right now. I said we got to get through September. September was tough.
Yeah.
2-2 in September. Let's go undefeated in October.
Man, it's hard to temper my excitement because, man,
I know bottle it up.
For the longest time, I try to bottle it up, but it's hard. Speaking of bottling it up, Cherry Bundy is a bottle that my son is a soccer phenom. in his head. He's trying to become what's his name? The guy David Beckham. David Beckham. He loves Paris Saint-Germain. We play FIFA all the time, and he wants to go and practice. I can't play soccer, Mike. I got 2 left feet when it comes to soccer, and it's bad. But I try to help him out, and so he's got into my little Cherry Bundy box that they sent me. And he's like killed half the box. I'm like, son, where's my drinks at? He's like, well, Daddy, I drink them and that makes me feel better. And the cherry flavor tastes good. I said, it's not candy. Like, it tastes good. And so y'all have to send me some more Cherry Bundy because you're all about recovery, whether it's for, weekend dads who watching their kids and running around, or for my son who's trying to get back on the soccer field after he practices 2-3 hours a day. I need more of that. So cherrybundy.com. Check that out. It's some good stuff. It'll get you right.
I'm drinking something right now. I like it first thing in the morning, man. Give me a little jolt. Give me a little boost in the morning, man.
I got a bunch of kids and work to do, so I need any jolt I can get. So take it from Mike and me. It's some good stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Good stuff.
But Mike, man. So what else do you want to see from this team? Because moving forward, with the Seattle Seahawks coming up and us winning, 2 games and us, getting out of, I don't want to say a bad situation, but we showed the Panthers, and I think the NFL, that we can win by more than 1 touchdown, that we can beat the team supposed to beat. It took a little while, but we can do that. So what's next for these Falcons? Like, what's the next step in their evolution?
Find another way to win. We win in different ways. So I'm excited just watching this team grow. Week in and week out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come from behind, win in the last seconds, dominate a team at the end in the fourth quarter. Just take over and dominate at the end. Run the ball down their throat.
Yeah.
Throw the ball for 500 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's like we haven't found out what is this team yet. What is this team? We don't know yet. So I'm on a journey. I'm on a ride. I'm on a ride just like you, Ovie.
Yeah,
you saying Super Bowl? I'm just taking 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time. I like 1 week at a time.
Nope. My composure. No, Super Bowl, baby. Super Bowl. Let's go. Super Bowl plus.
Right. You the Rise Up crew and the Falcons nest. You with them fans just waving the flag.
Let's freaking go.
And 1 week at a time. Just keep our composure. Just 1 week at a time. We're 4-2. Let's keep it rolling.
All right, I mean, if you say so, we're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna do what we gotta do, and that's all well and good, man. But I've been suffering, not just me, but I think Falcons have been suffering through the Desmond Ridder, the Marcus Mariota year, through some bad seasons to where it's just like, dang, again. And the last couple home games I went to, the Chiefs game, the darn Saints game, and the Bucks game. Went to all those home games, and I've been that many home games in a row in a minute, and it was just like one time the Falcons gave me a nice little parking spot in the red deck. A couple other times I gave a parking spot, my thing to somebody else, and so I went to find parking within the Falcons craziness, and I had never parked in a while, so it was like $100 to park close to the stadium. I had to drive a little bit, and it was like $80 there, and I ended up driving. I'm African, so I'm a little bit frugal. My Nigerian parents, they don't have me just spending money just because I got it. So I went and found a $40 joint, and it was a while back, a way back, and I had to walk a little bit, but not everybody. A couple people recognized me, like, you look like Ovie. I was like, yeah, I get that a lot. I am. And they just started talking Falcons football, and the one thing that they kept on telling me, Mike, was that, hey, man, we Bleav. Like, we Bleav now this team's going to find a way to figure it out. After that Kirk Cousins second game, Eagles, that drive where he acted like he was Matt Ryan and went down the field and gave it to Drake. They're like, we Bleav we can win any game. And they were excited. Like, they were talking a little bit like Super Bowl stuff. Like, this could be this. There was like whispers. We can actually be a Super Bowl bound team. And that excitement, that Bleav, play on words, that they Bleav in our Falcons. They Bleav, Bleav in our Falcons, because we've shown them, we've shown them that it's possible, that anything's possible with this team. Like you mentioned, we can win several different ways, and that we don't have that quit in us. It's a mentality, man, because we've been on those teams where people are just on the sidelines and they're not really fully invested into what up, doggy? They're not invested into us being who we can be. They're just like, you know what? It's just guys have their heads down, their helmets are, kind of off. And we've been on teams where you feel like the locker room doesn't really believe we can make it happen. And you've been on teams where we know we can absolutely can. And this is a team where going out into the public, they believe we can, man. So it's a good thing. It's a great thing. Falcons fans, we're 4-2. We're 3-0 in the division. We're gonna make it happen, man. We're going to Super Bowl, baby.
And this is my last thing. This is my last thing. Just have patience. It takes time to make the fans believe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we had these collapses in the past where
we have.
So this year feels different. It feels different. I'm not gonna get overexcited, but I'm keeping my composure. Ovie, keep your composure. 1 week at a time. Bleav in Falcons.
Amen. Love it. All right, guys. Y'all subscribe. Y'all give us some support. We appreciate you guys. Talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Yo, before we head out of here, Mike, we got to give some love to our sponsor, Elbow Golf. That's LBOW Golf. Live boldly, overcome weakness. There's some brothers who do some great golf apparel. They got all types of colors and designs. And if you want to go out there golfing and you want to look good, Elbow Golf's the place to do it. I heard they're coming out with a dog line. So my dog likes to crash my show. His name is Asher, Guardian. This is our COVID puppy. We got him during COVID, Mike, because my kids wanted to play with me the whole time. They did not want to do what normal kids do, which is, just sit down and be quiet. That's not normal kids, actually. They want to play all the time. I say, you know what?
All the time.
Let me get them a dog. And so my dog, who tried to mess up this show the whole time, he was pecking me and pooping me with his nose. He wants to be a part of this, but no, they're not getting a dog line. They should get a dog line, but Elbow Golf, LBOW golf.com. Use code Ovie, get yourself some gear. Next time you're out there golfing, you're gonna look fly and enjoy yourself. Because like Mike says, you gotta look good, play good.
Right. That's 15% off though, right?
Yeah, 15% off, man. I mean, I know everybody here got some money, but like, why would you pay more money when you don't got to? Use code Ovie, 15% off. Elbow Golf, get you some gear, look good, play good.
Yes, sir.